You'll want to hear this before it's too late. Few people know this, but there's a powerful piece of relationship advice coming from an unexpected source. A 92-year-old woman, full of wisdom and unfiltered honesty, revealed something most men simply don't understand about intimacy. And it could completely change the way you connect with your partner. What she said is simple, yet profound. And it might be the secret to building stronger emotional bonds, increasing mutual pleasure, and transforming intimacy into something much more meaningful. Stick around until the end, because what you're about to discover will open your eyes to a side of relationships most people ignore. And it could be the key to strengthening your connection like never before. When we talk about intimacy in a relationship, we often focus solely on the physical side, forgetting that the simplest gestures can carry immense emotional weight. And that's exactly what the 92-year-old woman emphasized. The smallest acts, when done with intention and heart, become the most powerful. Now, think about it for a moment. When a woman decides to fully engage in a deeper intimate moment, like oral sex, what's really happening there? Beneath the physical act lies a deep emotional layer that is often overlooked. It's about trust in its purest form. It's like opening an invisible door and saying, "I feel safe here. I can be myself without fear." This kind of vulnerability doesn't happen by chance. It's the result of a healthy emotional environment, where respect, care, and acceptance lay the foundation for both partners to feel free to explore intimacy in its fullest form. And here's the key point. When that trust is established, the act stops being merely physical and transforms into a deep connection where body and mind align. But why is this so significant? Because in a mature relationship, intimate moments like this go beyond performance or expectations. They become an exchange, a way of saying without words, "I care about you, I see you, I want to make you happy." The woman shared a story that perfectly illustrates this. She spoke about her late husband, with whom she was married for over 50 years. According to her, their most intimate moments weren't defined by what was happening physically, but by what they felt emotionally. It was like we were in complete harmony, not just our bodies, but our souls. And here's a valuable insight. When couples understand that these gestures carry deep emotions, they begin to value those moments even more. It's not about doing something out of obligation or to meet expectations, but about being present, connecting, and creating a safe space where both can be vulnerable. This also explains why, for many women, oral sex can be seen as an act of emotional, not just physical, surrender. When she chooses to go down that path, she's saying, even indirectly, "I trust you enough to open myself up like this." And that has a massive impact on the relationship. On the other hand, when this kind of connection is neglected or treated purely as something physical, the relationship starts to lose part of its essence. Intimacy stops being something special and becomes just another activity. That's when many couples begin to disconnect without even realizing it. The secret, according to our wise lady, is to see these moments not just as a physical exchange, but as opportunities to strengthen the emotional bond. And the truth is, most men never realize this. They're so focused on the act itself that they miss the chance to create a real and meaningful connection. There's a quiet power in feeling completely free to explore your own sexuality. And the 92-year-old woman highlighted something many people overlook. True intimacy isn't just about giving someone else pleasure, it's about discovering who you are in the process. When a woman chooses to actively participate in her partner's pleasure, especially in intimate moments like oral sex, she's not just offering something, she's also allowing herself to take control of the situation, expressing her self-confidence and sexual freedom. and that feeling can be deeply liberating. Many still believe that intimate acts should follow certain rules or preset expectations, but what truly strengthens a relationship is when both partners feel free to explore their desires without fear of judgment. In this context, oral sex stops being just a simple act and becomes a genuine exchange where both find pleasure, whether in giving or receiving. For many women, this experience becomes a space of self-discovery. It's a moment where she realizes she has control over her own sexuality and can use it not just to please, but also to connect and express herself. That sense of control, of being there by choice, not obligation, is what builds self-confidence. The woman shared an interesting insight. When you feel like you have a choice, everything changes. You're not doing it because you have to, but because you want to. And that difference is what makes intimate moments more intense and meaningful. But here's a crucial point. Sexual freedom doesn't mean doing everything or feeling pressured to please your partner at the expense of your own boundaries. It's quite the opposite. It's about understanding what makes you feel good, what brings you pleasure, and being able to express that openly in a safe and respectful space. And that's why the principle of reciprocity is so valued in healthy relationships. It's not about a direct exchange, "I'll do this if you do that," but about a natural understanding that both partners want to bring each other happiness and pleasure. This sincere exchange strengthens the bond and creates a positive cycle of intimacy and respect. However, it's essential to remember that oral sex, or any intimate act, isn't for everyone. Every couple has their own preferences, boundaries, and dynamics. True respect comes from recognizing that without criticism or pressure. There's no right or wrong when it comes to intimacy, as long as both people feel comfortable and happy with their choices. The woman emphasized something that seems simple, but is often forgotten. You don't have to do anything to be loved. True connection happens when you can be yourself without masks. This kind of freedom, when nurtured in a relationship, allows intimacy to become something natural and enjoyable, free from insecurities or outside pressures. And that's exactly where couples discover one of the greatest secrets to a lasting and healthy bond: the balance between giving, receiving, and feeling completely free to be who you are. What lies beneath intimate moments that seem purely physical? The answer is deeper than most people realize. The 92-year-old woman revealed something simple yet powerful. The body feels, but it's the soul that holds the memories. And when we talk about oral sex, we're not just talking about physical pleasure. We're talking about emotional and physical benefits that impact the relationship as a whole. Research confirms that intimate pleasure isn't just about desire or satisfaction. During an orgasm, the body releases a cocktail of hormones like endorphins, dopamine, and oxytocin, known as the happiness and connection hormones. These natural chemicals have the power to relieve stress, boost mood, and create a profound sense of well-being. It's almost as if the body is saying, "You're safe here, you're happy." But the benefits go far beyond momentary relief. For many couples, these intimate moments build a powerful emotional bridge. Oxytocin, often called the love hormone, is responsible for creating feelings of connection and attachment, strengthening the bond between partners. This explains why, after deep, intimate moments, many couples feel emotionally closer. It's not just in their heads, it's real chemistry at work. The woman highlighted an interesting perspective. True intimacy isn't just about what you feel in the moment, but what you carry with you afterward. Those moments of laughter, tenderness, and even vulnerability during oral sex create positive memories that stick with the relationship, helping to strengthen the bond over time. There's also the physical aspect to consider. Oral sex, when practiced with care and attention, can be a rich experience of self-discovery and exploration. Different techniques, rhythms, and approaches allow couples to explore what works best for them, increasing both intimacy and pleasure. This mutual exploration builds trust and creates a space where both partners feel comfortable expressing their desires. Moreover, there's something almost therapeutic about these moments. The stress relief provided by orgasm can help reduce anxiety and even improve sleep quality. This directly impacts the couple's emotional well-being, creating a positive cycle where intimacy strengthens the relationship on multiple levels: emotional, physical, and mental. But here's a crucial point. These benefits only fully materialize when both partners feel comfortable and connected. Mutual pleasure, open communication, and respect for each other's boundaries are essential to turn these moments into something truly meaningful. It's not just about chasing pleasure for pleasure's sake, but about creating an experience that strengthens both the emotional and physical bond between partners. The woman also shared a thought-provoking comment. Sometimes what you need to feel better isn't a long conversation or advice. It's simply to feel loved and desired. And oral sex, in the context of love and respect, can be that silent reminder that you are valued. Finally, exploring new techniques, breaking routines, and allowing yourselves to share these experiences together brings another important benefit: rediscovering your partner. Over time, many couples fall into routines that dull intimacy. Moments like these reignite the spark and remind both partners that the desire and connection are still there, just waiting to be rediscovered. After decades of living and loving, the 92-year-old woman shared a piece of advice that, at first glance, may seem simple, but carries the weight of an entire lifetime of experience. True intimacy isn't about what you do, but how you make the other person feel. In a world where the physical often overshadows the emotional, it's easy to forget that real connection goes far beyond actions. For her, the true secret to a lasting and fulfilling relationship lies in the intention behind every touch, every word, and every glance. Throughout her life, she saw many couples get lost in routine, forgetting that love needs to be nurtured daily, not with grand gestures, but with the small things. And when it comes to intimacy, this becomes even more evident. Oral sex, for example, stops being just an act of pleasure when done with care, respect, and a genuine desire to connect. It transforms into a symbol of love and dedication, a way of saying, "I value you," without needing words. She shared a touching story from her own marriage. She recalled simple yet unforgettable moments where small, intimate gestures created a deep connection between her and her husband. "It wasn't the boldest moments I remembered the most," she said, "but the ones where he looked into my eyes and I knew he was fully there, present, just for me." This is the real secret many couples forget. Intimacy isn't about performance or external expectations. It's about presence. Being there, 100% focused on your partner without distractions or judgment. It's in this space of vulnerability and acceptance that love flourishes and grows stronger. But she also made something very clear. Intimacy should never be forced or feel like an obligation. Every couple has its own rhythm, preferences, and boundaries. What matters is that both partners feel comfortable and happy with the choices they make together. And here's the final, and perhaps the most powerful, point. The greatest gift you can give your partner isn't your body, but your time and attention. In an era where everything is rushed and superficial, dedicating a moment to deep, intimate connection becomes a revolutionary act. And it's what keeps bonds strong over the years. So, if there's one thing this conversation teaches us, it's that intimacy goes far beyond the physical. It's about connecting emotionally, creating safe spaces, and valuing your partner not just for what they give you, but for who they are. That's the true secret to a healthy, pleasurable, and lasting relationship. And maybe, in the end, that's the biggest lesson the 92-year-old woman wanted to share. Love is built in the details, in the small daily choices to care, to listen, and to give without expecting anything in return. And now I want to hear from you. What did you think of the advice from this 92-year-old woman? Have you experienced something similar, or have your own tip about intimacy to share? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, like it, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming content.